and Coach Eckler, two linebacker coaches, and we just kind of were talking and stuff. And then throughout it feels like it was a couple months, but really it was just 1 week. Throughout that 1 week, toward the end is when they told me they had an offer for me, and I came on a visit the next few days and committed. So.
And with the Marlowe and Ramik leaving, I mean,
right.
It just kind of this.
Right. It was a perfect fit. There's some really good linebackers here right now. Me and Chooks are the new guys, but so I'm really looking forward to spring and to competing and to just try to earn some playing time.
What was your first reaction when you found out about the program disbanding at UAB?
Just really disbelief. In some sense, it really still hadn't hit me. To think like that something I put 3 years of my life into is just gone. That's a tough thing to think about, but so disbelief and it's just really tough, and I really feel for everyone involved, all my former teammates, coaches, and all that, because I know not a lot of. I'm the only one that ended up in Georgia, so it's a tough thing, but I hope it all works out for the best.
Do you think you'd get an opportunity like this to play at a school like Georgia?
Like after the thing?
Yeah.
Well, at first, I was talking to my parents, and I'm like, I had no idea who was going to call me, and so I think I ended up. I talked to a few big schools, and I was like, okay, maybe I can go play somewhere big. And then, Georgia came in, and it really kind of, they watched my Arkansas film. I think was a big game they watched, and that was my best game of the year. So, that shows that I can compete at this level. It'll be a lot different competing weekly at the level, but, I'm up for the challenge.
Have you followed the stories coming out of Birmingham after all that? And
I have.
What do you think of?
It's I'm not sure what to think of it because ever since I got to UAB as a freshman, there's always been something. It felt like something that was holding us back. With it was new facilities or. Just whatever it was, there was always something that was kind of like keeping us down. And then, when this happened, and now there's reports coming out of, flawed numbers, and that report was wrong. All that stuff. I try not to think too much about it because it does make me upset, and I hate it. But it's been crazy, and I hope everything gets worked out over there, and I hope they can bring it back one day.
When you say there was stuff that felt like it was holding y'all back, was it just kind of a feeling around, or were there tangible things you saw like on?
Right. More of a we tried to get a turf field this past year, and our coach told us it was going to happen, and then a couple of months later, it never happened, and we never really asked about it. But then this past few weeks, like you said, a report came out that it got shut down for no reason. So stuff like that. So I guess that's tangible, but we just got a new locker room this past year at UAB, and before that, our locker room was worse than probably half the high schools in Birmingham. So, and we were, a D1 program trying to compete with, Marshall and schools like that. So,
now that page in your career is turned, what are your initial impressions of just UGA and Athens as a whole now that you're here full time?
Right. Oh, it's awesome. I love Athens. I love Georgia, the whole community. Something. You walk around town, football is important. It means something to these people and to the people of Athens. And you see in class students wearing Georgia gear. Every single one of them has something Georgia on. That's something new for me, and I love that, and I take so much pride in that. And so it's been a lot different, but in a good way. And I just, I couldn't be happier to be here. And I'm so excited.
Do you feel almost guilty or like you landed on Mars? Going from that situation into this situation?
I don't know if guilt's the word. I do feel bad for, some of my teammates that got the raw end of the deal. I did, look up and end up at Georgia, which is, for me, coming out of this thing is my dream school. I'll tell y'all I was talking to my parents, after the UAB thing went down, and my mom said, what's your wish list? Like, what's your schools? And I said Georgia. I lived in Alabama for 5 years, and I just got burnt out from that Auburn-Alabama rivalry, and I'm from Georgia, so I was just like, honestly, I would want to go to Georgia, and then it all worked out perfect. So it was crazy how that worked out.